Do you ever see these people online? They're successful and they're living an amazing life and their business is growing, and you just wish that they shared everything that they do in order to get clients, what their business actually is, how much they charge, and they just shared everything so that you had a good understanding of what it was that they did. So maybe you can kind of copy them and emulate in their success. Well, that's what I'm going to do in today's video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lawrence. I've built and scaled 2 businesses to 7 figures, and I'm actually on my way to the airport in about half an hour's time. And when I get to my final destination, I'm going to pull back the curtains and explain exactly my business, how it works, A to Z, and how I'm able to get the time, the location, and the financial freedom that I want, how I was able to escape the 9-to-5, quit my job, and start my own business. So come along for the journey, and I'm going to explain absolutely everything so you can copy in my success. Let's go. So I have just touched down in Dubai, and I am here for about 3 days. And the reason I shared the clips, the kind of B-roll of me flying business class, is not to show off, just to highlight what is possible with the business model that I'm about to explain to you. Because back in the day, never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'll be able to fly business class, first class, travel the world and do it in style, kind of stay in 5-star hotels. I'm in a hotel right now. And yeah, I just didn't really think that the life that I now live would ever be possible. I share that with you just to highlight that, you know, what is possible. So let me run you through the nuts and bolts of my business, how I make money, so that you can ultimately do the same. So with this model, when I started this business, I wanted something that was relatively easy to start, relatively straightforward to do, didn't require a lot of investment, a lot of capital to get started. And that's exactly what this business model is. It's very easy to outsource. So I spend about an hour to 2 hours every single day on the business itself. And then I spend the rest of my time actually helping other people start the same business. So the business model, you could call it a lead generation agency. And before you think, oh, boring, I've heard this before, and click off, let me just explain how it works in actual detail so that you can understand just how powerful this business model actually is. So what I do in order to make money, let me map it all out. So I reach out to prospects, and in order to do that, I need to make sure that I know who I'm targeting. So I'll do a kind of flow diagram for you and show you how it all works. So I reach out to prospects, and in fact, what I actually do, how do I reach out to them? Contact prospects and I basically contact a defined audience. And for me, that defined audience is marketing agencies, because I used to run a marketing agency. I used to help e-commerce businesses grow. And over time, I realized that this business model is actually way more effective, way easier to run, way less headaches, way more profitable. So I actually switched over to what I do now. So I target marketing agencies. That should really be the other way around, that arrow. And I contact them through cold email. So this little arrow here, I guess, could represent cold email. So I write some cold emails, I send them to my niche, and I basically say to them, do you want me to generate you appointments? I send my offer, because what I know is that marketing agencies want more sales calls. They want calls with their potential clients. 95% of marketing agencies, they rely solely on referrals, word of mouth, their own network to grow. And therefore, because of that, they have no control over the growth of their own business. So most of them are really hungry for sales calls. And every single niche has its own desires. But for marketing agencies, it's sales calls. It could be, if you were going for, I don't know, SaaS companies, it might be that they just want leads, for example. Different industries have different pain points. And ultimately what we're here to do is solve some pain points for our chosen niche. So we send our offer, and remember, we're doing this through cold email. What we're saying to these marketing agencies is, do you want more sales calls? And not only do you want more sales calls, but do you want more sales calls completely risk-free because you only pay me on results? I only get paid for the sales calls I book for you. So all of these marketing agencies, because they're successful business owners, they understand the value of a sales call to their business. They know that if they take, say on average, 4 sales calls, they're going to sign 1 client. They know what a client is worth to them, therefore they know what a sales call is worth to them. So it's very easy for a business owner, a marketing agency, when I say, do you want me to generate you sales calls, and I tell them the price of the sales calls that I want to charge them, it's very easy for them to understand the price of a sales call that I'm charging versus the value of a sales call that they get internally in their business from actually having that sales call, because they know that 1 in 4 turns into a paying client in this example. Generally, it's actually, that's probably quite accurate, maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 3, maybe 1 in 5 if they're not great at sales. So I send the offer, and what's really important here is it's pay on results. So the reason that it's pay on results, and the reason that pay on results is so effective, is because it's no risk to the client, no risk to the marketing agencies that I'm reaching out to. And therefore, it's very easy for the marketing agency to say, yes, let's work together. And let's say, for example, I was to go out to a marketing agency and I was to say, let me do some cold emails for you. I'll charge you $2,000 per month and I'll do my best. And let's fingers crossed. And if it works, then that's great. If it doesn't, then it's going to cost you $2,000 a month. It's still possible to sign clients that way, but it's just not the most effective way to sign clients. Also, I'm capped at earning $2,000 every single month. Regardless of how I perform, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm only getting paid $2K every single month. And I say only, it's not a bad amount of money, but it's capped. Now, if I say it's pay on results, they say, what have I got to lose? Nothing. Let's do it. And when you can sign the right clients, because not all clients within the marketing agency space are all created equally, but when you can sign the right clients, what happens is you actually end up charging them way more than 2K per month. And that's okay, because you are charging based off the value that you create. You should always be charging based off the value that you create. If you charge 2K per month and you don't provide the value, then the client will leave. So you have to be charging based off the value that you create, otherwise the relationship won't last for very long. And that's like a fundamental part of any business whatsoever, that the value needs to exceed the price that they're paying. So we are charging based off the value that we create. So if we charge a client, say $10,000, they're happy. They're not thinking, Christ, that's a big bill, 10K. They're happy because we're generating them much more than that. So the more we bill a client each month, the happier they are. And there's no business model in the world that is like that, where it doesn't matter how much you charge them, your client is always happy because they are paying for the value that you have provided. I'll give you an example, a real world example. We signed a client about 4.5 weeks ago now. And it takes 4 weeks to launch a client's campaign. So we've been running this client's campaign for about, well, actually 3 live days, but there's been the weekend in between. So we launched them on a Thursday. So we've had Thursday, Friday, and then Monday of launching this client, of the campaign being live. And over those 3 working days, we've had 22 calls booked. And we charge this particular client $100 for every call that we book onto their calendar. So we have earned $2,200 in 3 days from 1 client. Now, do I anticipate us earning $20,000 over the space of a month for this particular client? Probably not quite 20, but it's definitely going to be above $10,000 from 1 client. And the client inside our Slack channel is messaging every day saying, oh my God, I can't believe how many leads we're getting, how many calls we're getting. This is amazing. And we're thinking the same. And it's great when we both have the same thoughts, because it builds a long-term relationship. So when he's saying this is amazing and we're saying this is amazing, then guess what? We're both happy. We're both going to win. And this is great, but this is just 1 client. But what happens is, over time, you sign multiple clients. We sign multiple clients every single month. And what happens is they compound on one another. So we get this client and we get them, I don't know, say charge them $10,000 a month. We get another client, maybe we only charge this client $2,000. Maybe the next client, Maybe they don't do as well. Maybe we only charge them $1,000. Maybe we get another $10,000 a month client in the same month. Basically, every single month, we're adding up our monthly recurring revenue. And it makes it very simple, very straightforward to start building your monthly recurring revenue, building your wealth over time. So what we do, we send them the offer saying, do you want us to get pay on results? Do you want to pay per call? And then here's where the real magic happens. When we contact prospects up here, so we're doing cold email, right? And here's the beauty, is when we send them the offer, what we're offering them to do is basically cold email. So the way that we signed a client is the exact same service that we're offering the client. And that's really important, and let me explain why. Because it means that we only need to learn one skill. We only need to learn one skill, which in this example is cold email. So we get good at cold email. That means that we can sign clients for ourselves, but it also means that we can help get our clients clients. So unlike every other business model where you have to learn how to sign your own clients, you then have to learn how to deliver results for your clients. And that generally means having to learn a myriad of different skills like paid ads, optimization. There's just like a million and one different things that you may or may not have to learn. And I've created this phrase called the single skill success cycle. Bit of a mouthful, but it basically what it means is that you just have one skill, which is cold email, and that's the only thing that you need. You use cold email well, and then what happens is it allows you to sign clients, and then by being good at cold email, you can get clients for your prospects. By getting clients for your prospects, it means that you can get more clients through referrals, through testimonials, and the better you get at signing clients, the better the results are for your clients, and it just becomes this positive feedback loop, this positive flywheel, and your business just grows and grows and grows. And at the same time, your monthly recurring revenue is stacking up, stacking up, stacking up. And unlike so many other service-based businesses, the beauty of this business model is that retention is really long. When I had my e-com agency, so I was running paid ads for e-commerce businesses, and I was charging, like everybody else was, I was charging a flat monthly fee. It was really hard to sign clients because there was a lot of risk involved from the client's perspective, because they had to pay me money and hope that I could do a good job. And although we did do a good job for some clients, we couldn't do a good job for all clients for one reason or another. And that meant naturally clients churned. They came, they stayed for a couple of months, and then they went. And what happened is when we started the business, we grew. And we grew because there was no clients leaving. And then what actually eventually happened is we plateaued. And the reason we plateaued is because we would sign a couple of clients per month, and then we would lose a couple of clients per month. And we would stay at this revenue level. And so the business, I had to sign a lot of new clients to actually grow because clients were leaving. The reason they were leaving is because I wasn't charging based off value. I was charging the fee that I wanted, not the fee that the client wanted to pay. And that was a big issue. And it stopped us from hitting bigger months than we could have potentially hit. With this business model, what happens is the clients don't leave. The reason the clients don't leave is because they're only paying for the results that you generate. So it means that they just stick around. And when you bill a client, they pay the bill because they're happy, because they've got the service that they're paying for, they've got the thing that they want. And so it compounds over time. So although you can sign, let's say you sign one client a month that pays you 5K, you get them 50 calls in this example, charging them $100 per call, you get them 50 calls. You sign one of those every single month. Month one, you get 5K from one client. Month two, you get 2 clients. So now that's 10K. Month 3, it becomes 15K. Month 4, it becomes 20K. Month 5, 25. And you're at 60K a month by the end of the year. Now, should you be signing more than one client every single month? Absolutely. The reason why is because of your offer. You're sending an offer saying, do you want to just pay on the results? Pay for the results. Don't pay me any money. Don't give me anything, just pay me for the results. And they're like, why not? Now the problem that some people might face is they're like, well, if I'm charging based off results, how do I know I'm going to be able to get them results? Well, you're able to get them results because you're getting yourself results. When you can book your own sales calls through cold email, that means that you can do it for others as well. If you've done it for yourself, you can do it for others. If it's worked for you, you can make it work for others. So just by being on a sales call allows you to have the confidence that you can do it because you generated a sales call for yourself. And here's the beautiful thing as well, is when you're on a sales call, it really doesn't get any better than this. When you're on a sales call, they say, how do I know that it's going to work? And you kind of have this little wry smile on your face and you say, you know how we're on this sales call right now? And they go, yeah. You say, you know how I sent you a cold email to get you onto this sales call? They go, yeah. You say, well, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the same strategies. I'm going to use the same tactics. I'm going to use the same methods. And because it's worked on you, it's going to work for you. So, Mr. Prospect, I can show you all the testimonials or everything. I can show you anything you want. But the best thing is just to take a look at yourself in the mirror, because you are the validation that this works, because you're on this call right now. And I don't want any money up front. I just want to charge you based off the value that I produce. We've had a conversation. We understand that the value of a sales call, or it might be a lead, depends what you want, like what you're charging your clients for. But we've had this conversation, and we know that the value of a sales call is $1,000 to you, because you close 25% of your calls, and a client is worth $4,000 to you. So 25% of 4,000 is 1,000. So the value of a sales call is $1,000, but I'm going to charge you $1,000. I'm going to charge you per sales call $100. So it's very easy for your prospects to understand the difference between price and value. And that's all they're looking for. You don't need any clever sales tactics. You just need to logically explain how they're going to make money working with you. And the amount of times I've heard the phrase, I would be stupid not to, from prospects when I'm speaking to them on a sales call, is, I've lost count of how many times I've said that. And when you hear, I would be stupid not to, you know that you're onto something good. And so this is how I make money. This is what I do. And then to go a little one step further, once I've signed the client and I understand how to do cold email, I build a team of overseas virtual assistants that run the systems for me. I have a manager inside my business that manages everything for me. And of course, you're not going to necessarily start with a manager, but I have a manager that manages the team. And I speak with the manager. It's kind of like a COO in the business. I speak with him for 1 hour every day, and that's pretty much it. And the reason being is because there aren't many moving parts. I just need my team to be really good at one skill, which is cold email, which we are good at. And when you're good at when you only need your team to be good at one skill, it means that they're very easy to train. They're relatively cheap to hire, because you're not hiring some, I'm not saying that my team aren't A players, they are, but you're not hiring some Harvard graduate that's got a 1,000,001 skills. They just need one skill. And even if they don't have the skill, you can train them, because it's just one thing they need to get good at. And then they basically run the campaigns for the clients. And then every time we get a call booked for a client, ping, there's another $100, ping, there's another $100, ping, ping, ping. And that's how I make money. And that's how I'm able to live a life that I did not think would ever be possible. It's how I'm able to fly first class, fly business class, and enjoy time with my family, travel without being tied to my desk. So hopefully that's given you a really good understanding of what I do, how it all works, so that hopefully maybe you can do the same. And if you want to find out a little bit more about how we might be able to help you to create a business model like this, then if you click the first link in the description, it's going to take you to a video. The video is going to explain a little bit more about the business model, and it's going to ask you to book in a call. Whether you do, whether you don't, not a problem, doesn't really make any difference to me. But the reason I create this video is because I want to help. But if you want more help, click the link in the description. If you've liked this video, there is a button for that. Please give it a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.